Hello and welcome to Blood on the Clocktower. Uh, today's my day off, and I went into work because we're wicked understaffed. Everyone's constantly on leave, but I got my energy concoction. See, I drink this stuff. It's like wicked cheap. It's like 56 cents a bottle, and then I pour stuff in it, and I have an unknown amount of energy drink in here. So. Which may or may not be wise, because I'm going to ask if I can go in early tomorrow. So I may need to take a lot of sleeping pills to come back down off of this high that I'm creating. But anyway, we are mad understaffed at work. So I basically work constantly, and it's never enough. But anyway, I'm in this new player game of Trouble Brewing. Then can you guess what my inspiration for my background is? That's right, it's the recluse. Oh, sorry, no, that's not correct. It's the spy. I had an idea for the spy. The spy can register as good, so that's kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And then I looked for a wolf in sheep's clothing, and that was the coolest one I found. However, it's really just a wolf. He's not actually in sheep's clothing whatsoever. So that's what I'm going to say that is. That is the inspired by the spy, the wolf in sheep's clothing. Anyway, the spy is a role in the script. The spy is evil, and they get to see the grimoire every night. And I don't know if I'm good or evil or not, but we're playing Trouble Brewing. It's pretty basic. I will handicap myself when I get my role. I will decide a stupid way to play the role. If I am the poisoner, well, I don't want to give away everything, but I have ideas of things that I want to pull off, and if I pull them off, then people will know that I'm pulling them off because I record videos and sometimes people watch them. Anyway, I don't really think there's a lot to talk about. I suppose I will show the roles in the game. Ba-bam. Very basic. However, basic doesn't mean it's not confusing. We do have 12 players, which is the perfect player count. There will be 7 or 5 townsfolk, depending on if the Baron is in play, and 2 or 4 outsiders, depending on if the Baron is in play. 2 minions, and 1 demon, which will be the imp. And a recluse that can register as the demon, and a scarlet woman, and the demon can kill themselves in Star Pass. So whoever has any idea what's going on. Absolute chaos. Anyway, I see that I am the Washerwoman, which means that I can play like a buffoon. In case you don't know, the Washerwoman starts knowing that one of 2 players is a particular townsfolk. And I suppose I should go back, as Trey will be visiting me.
Hello, everybody. Steven, you're the Washerwoman. You're going to see 2 people. One of them is going to be the Undertaker. And that is either going to be George or Chris, our 2 alternates.
Chris Werewolf Killer?
Yeah, because Chris A is not playing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so I've one small critique, and it's not really a complaint, but there's a homebrew script where there's a role that sees one of 2 players as another role, which I like that better than the Washerwoman, Librarian, Investigator, because that is redundant. And I've been this many times, and this time I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to 3 for 3 with both of them, but not tell them that I'm the Washerwoman, and then probably come up with some other ridiculous thing to do. But that is problematic because Chris never gives anyone his role, and George is always evil.
Welcome back to the main room. So since this has a couple of new players, I'm going to give you guys a full 10 minutes to talk on day one. And every day I'll just make it shorter and shorter from then on out. And then when we get to the nomination phase, I'll kind of go over how I handle that. So does anybody have any questions before we begin regarding roles? You can always private chat me. You can always ask to see me in my storyteller room for any questions, okay? I'm going to open breakout rooms, and I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes, so have fun.
So, hello, everyone. My name's Brody. You can call me Brody if you want.
Wow.
At the start of Brewing, like, one of the questions I like to ask is if we got any outsiders, because if we establish that early, we can know if we have a Baron.
I would like to declare that I am an evil.
Steven, can we see your face, please?
I'm eating.
I don't care.
Yeah. And nobody's obligated.
That's right. You don't want your viewers to see you eat, I guess.
Josh,
by the way, for the new people, Steven records, and so does Chris. Chris, are you recording today?
Yeah. Yeah. I am.
Okay. Yeah.
I made it downstairs.
Yeah. Like I said, nobody's
to the blood room.
Yeah. Blood room. Yeah. So nobody's obligated to come out as an outsider if they don't want to. Like, it's just a suggestion I like to ask.
Well, I'm not a townsfolk. I'm evil.
By the way, for all the new players, right now you could be whispering if you really wanted to instead of listening to Brody.
Yes. Yeah. No,
I would like to talk to you. I would like to get the heck out of here because Brody's annoying the crap out of me.
My room, Steven.
George, just trying to be friendly.
Sure, Mike.
Yes.
How do you like them apples?
Well, it was not the greatest. I was gonna give her bullshit, but I am good. So what are you gonna do?
I'm well aware of what you are, sir. So
I will see you later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do any of the three who are here want to say anything?
Do you want to go talk, Daniel?
Huh?
Do you want to go talk?
Yeah, can do.
Be careful.
Okay. Well, come to my room, Daniel. It's at the top.
Where is that? Yeah.
So, Steven. Oh, wait. Is it just me and you that are actually playing that are still here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody except for myself, usually spectators will have their cameras off, so everybody that you see camera-wise will be, unless you have your Zoom set to where you can see everybody.
Okay.
Hey, who, you want to talk?
Nope.
Okay.
Hey, Yahoo, you want to talk?
I'm waiting for Chris.
He's talking to Lucy.
The clock hand works.
All right, Sam, you want to talk?
Yeah, great, Brandon. Let's do it.
I'll go to your room.
Okay.
All right, Lucas, I'll talk to you.
No, I don't want to talk to you.
Okay, that's fine.
I've already marked you as evil.
No,
only evil people don't. You want to go to talk to your demon, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's not true. I'll talk to you. Yeah. Let's go talk.
Okay, I'll go to your room.
All right, thanks. Hey.
Can I trust you?
You can.
I need one person to trust.
Trust me.
What are you?
I'm not going to tell you. I have 3. You want 3?
I'm always suspicious if you go for free. Sure, go ahead.
Investigator. Empath. Monk.
Interesting rules. I don't assume all of them are bluff rolls. I tell you... Slayer, Soldier, or Mayor. Nope.
Okay.
I mean, 2 of them are unkillable by the demons, so I'm not afraid of you.
Well, you root for me when I'm the demon, right? Or was that somebody else?
No, I never root for evil. I want evil to lose.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay, fine.
That was Blake that said that. Blake says that he wants me to win when I'm the demon, but he wants me to lose if I'm a minion.
Yeah.
Werewolf killer, I need to talk to you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Earlier he wanted to talk with you when I asked him to talk, so
yeah.
He wants his bluff rose, Chris.
Well, Steven, do you think I'm evil?
Yep.
Okay.
He's always evil.
All right, well, if you want to talk, we can talk about how you're evil.
I'm in my room.
Do you want to talk?
I believe he put you near the top. I mean, you should be by the bottom. My arch nemesis. We used to work together and win things. Now we don't even work together and we lose all the time.
Do you want to work together? See, we haven't played together in a while.
That's true. Well, there was one game like a week ago or something. But yeah, it's true. But I'm back now and I'm playing more. I'm ready to win.
All right, well, I am the spy, so tell me your role.
Tell you my role.
Yeah, I'm the
you
spy.
Are the spy.
So I want to know if you're lying or telling the truth. If you tell the truth, then we can work together. I'll know if you're lying because I know everyone's role.
Well, good. Then I'll just lie to you. I'll tell you. Shoot, I don't know. What should I go with? What roles are there? Should I say fortune teller?
Liar!
Empath?
Liar!
Ravenkeeper?
Liar!
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm like the mayor or the soldier or anything like that. I'm gonna keep that stuff to myself. If I'm one of those, I'll just say I'm, maybe the fortune teller or something.
You're a liar.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm.
Do you like my spy-inspired background?
Yeah, I see you in there.
No, it's so a wolf in sheep's clothing. The spy might register as good.
I don't think he's in sheep's clothing.
It's a loose connection. Yeah. But that's what the inspiration is.
Oh, I see.
What is your actual role?
It may be.
It's not.
Listen, okay. It may be. I'll go.
Give me 3.
I'll give you 3.
Can you tell me your actual role in the 3?
It's possible.
No, I don't even want. I'm gonna leave if you don't tell me your actual role. In the 3.
Fair.
In the 3.
We'll go. We'll say Undertaker.
Yep, that's your role.
Virgin or mayor. Maybe I'll have it in there. Maybe I'm lying to you. Right here.
You're the Undertaker.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Well, I am the spy or the washerwoman.
Okay.
And I was told that you were the Undertaker.
Oh, did you? Interesting.
I've already failed to do what I said I was going to do.
What were you going to do?
I was not going to tell people that I was the washerwoman.
Well, how many people did you tell already?
You're the first I told. Are you the Undertaker?
I'm either the Undertaker or the Virgin or the mayor.
Dude, I don't give a crap about what you might be. So you did a lot of dancing, and then you actually said something when it was time for your 3. I was told that you or somebody else was the Undertaker, which I have pretty adamantly fought for. So I would think that you would realize that either I'm the spy or the washerwoman.
You are, so maybe we need to kill you.
Well, here's the deal. Well, first of all, don't kill me. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Second of all, if I am the spy, I know everybody's role, so why the heck would I be focusing on you? Because you're one of my 2 pings.
I'm just that talented.
No, you're a piece of crap.
You're a piece.
Are you the Undertaker?
Didn't at all. So I have a notepad and pen and everything, and it's entirely blank.
All right, everybody. So, okay, everybody's back. So let me explain this part of the day. So this is where I will open nominations. For the new players, just to remind you, you can only nominate once per day, and you have to be alive to nominate. You can only be nominated once per day. So if you do not get put on the chopping block, then you survive the day. In order to get put on the chopping block, you need to have a majority number of votes. However, the day will not officially end until I do a 10 count, which my 10 count is more like a 30-second 10 count. It's a very slow 10 count. And once my day comes to a close, whoever has the most votes and is on the chopping block at that moment will be put up for execution. What am I forgetting here? If two players are ever tied for the most votes, then nobody is on the chopping block. Also, I'll let you guys talk until things get stagnant, boring, or whatever, and I'll start my 10 count. I do not set a timer for this phase right here, so the days can go variable lengths. But if I'm ever on a 10 count, it's because I'm looking for a nomination or the day's about to end. So, all right. Nominations are open, and I will go over the voting process once we get to the point where we have an official nomination.
Can I just ask in the group, because I know someone asked it at the start of the day, and I think some people said things, but I don't know who said what. Who are there outsiders, and who or what are they? If there were,
not heard of any.
No, I thought someone said yes at the start, but I don't know who they were.
Well,
Who claimed, that he's an outsider.
Yeah, I said I was not a townsfolk and I was evil.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay.
It's a very Steven way to play.
Is that someone just asking to be nominated right there?
Yes.
No. It's important that I stay alive for me to use my poisoner ability.
I will say I won't say who this person was because I'll let them do that on their own time. But I have heard of a recluse.
Okay.
And any other outside claims? No.
It's probably a drink or a saint not coming out.
Yeah. But if we
can be pretty sure about for Trey is that the saint is always either a bluff or actually in the game.
Yeah.
But if we don't have a butler, then I assume we don't have a baron.
Yeah, like a butler would just come out and say if they were a butler, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I guess.
I would have thought the recluse would as well, because all it's going to do is hinder us.
Yeah, but some people don't want to die, and that's why they don't come out.
Do you want to die, Michael?
Is that why you're saying that? Yeah. If you're the recluse, it doesn't affect you in any way, does it really?
No.
Yeah, actually it will, because we will just kill him or her.
Yeah, but
would it not be good to kill a recluse to clear up any powers that might be misfiring on them being evil, and that might just make things simpler for everyone else?
That's why
when they're dead, so
that's why the recluse doesn't want to come out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually more interested if we have like a virgin in play.
I don't heard any claims of a virgin.
Or an investigator that got info on minions.
Yeah.
Just my personal opinion, the way that if you say, "Oh yeah, I'm evil, nominate me," that could just be a roundabout virgin thing. I've seen it done before.
I did not say to nominate me. Somebody said if that meant I wanted to be nominated. I do not want to die. I would like to remain alive and evil.
Lucy, just talk.
I'm just wondering if there's a reason why someone with one of the top 4 roles should not come out, because I think they already have information. So why not?
Because they will probably die. It's always the same.
But they have the information already.
I know.
But if there's an Undertaker in the game, it could be helpful for the top 4 not to come out.
Oh yeah.
Then they could get confirmed.
Top 4 could come out, but not say what they are. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
They could say I'm a top 4.
So Anyone volunteering to die?
That's interesting.
Sorry.
We've got to have a top 4 in with the amount of people in. Surely, is that not like statistically highly likely?
Yeah, he always
So
puts in 2.
I will say this.
Don't flatter Trey.
Always 2.
Oh no, I had a game that my last game that I ran, I had 0. And the funny thing was is that nobody even figured that out. Anyways, sometimes I will.
Hey, who just disappeared?
Sometimes I will script my games if I want to put time and effort into it. This one I did purely random. I literally just went and left it, and so don't meta this one, guys.
I'll nominate Daniel, please.
All right, so George is nominating Daniel.
All right.
And okay, so here we go. So what I will do is whoever makes the nomination, I'll give them a chance to have an accusation. Then I will give the person being nominated a chance to defend themselves. So don't worry, you're going to get your time in the sun to speak. And then once we do that, I open the floor for pertinent information, and then I will do the vote. So before we actually do the real vote, I will do a practice run for those people who need to see how the actual voting works. Pay no attention to the hands right now that are going up and down. That's just people messing with stuff. So anyways, George, go ahead with your accusation.
So I had a chat with Daniel, and we built like a sort of trust.
I thought so.
You know, we built a sort of trust, and I think it's important for the new players to learn that trust is fleeting, and don't trust anyone in this game. So, and also he's an evil ping, so let's kill him.
Baby-faced assassin.
Oh.
Also, Mia, take your seat.
Yes.
You got thrown out.
All right, so Daniel, go ahead with your defense.
I'm Townsfolk. I'm a good player. I've thought I trusted George. I've hard claimed to one other person, or not to one person. I didn't hard claim to George. I think I'm an incredibly bad kill at this stage in the game. I'd be curious to know more about the evil ping you've heard, because it definitely isn't me. But yeah.
Okay. Would anybody like to add any pertinent information before I go over the voting?
Did you hard claim to George?
No, 3 for 3.
So if who's the person you hard claim to, and are they willing to back you up on this one? Because I can nominate.
Yes.
I'm the investigator, and you're my evil ping with somebody else. So
Okay,
I'm happy
well,
to
I
nominate the
will
person.
say he hard claimed his role to me, and I do trust him, and he's not a good kill right now.
May I ask who the other half of that ping is?
I'll tell you after this vote.
Sure. All right,
so we don't influence things.
Let me talk about how we vote for all the new players. So right now, I have set up the nomination in the middle. You see George nominates Daniel, and it says so many votes. As these hands go up and down, that number is going to change. Right now it says 4 votes, 3 votes, whatever, in favor of a majority of 6. So we need 6 votes in order to put Daniel on the chopping block. It doesn't necessarily mean that Daniel's going to die. It just means he'll be on the chopping block at that moment if he gets to 6 or more votes. I need to set the timer. Now, right now at the underneath, at the very bottom of that middle section, it should say hand up, hand down. If you put your hand up, that means that you're going to vote. It does not actually capture your vote until the clock hand moves to your name. The vote will always start to the left of the person being nominated. So right now it's going to start with Sam, and then it'll go to Ann, and then Brody, and so forth. And I set the needle to 1.5 seconds. So this is going to be a fake vote, you guys. But just to show you, I'm going to click countdown, and the bells will ring, and then the needle will start to move. And so as it goes, it's going to record the hands. Okay, and so that's kind of how it goes. And it only matters when it gets there. So like Steven's hands up right now, if he had pulled it down, it wouldn't have counted. So,
One away, guys. Come on, take a vote.
so I'm going to reset this.
I do have pertinent info.
Yes.
Somebody asked who the other half of George's evil ping was. I'm assuming it's me because I am evil.
Oh my gosh. All right.
He's right.
Guys, I'm going to start the countdown for real this time, and it's going to start with Sam. So here we go.
Kill Daniel and Steven, then. We need to get them both out of the way. They're both unthinking.
But I can't poison people from their grave.
At this point.
Oh my goodness.
So close.
All right. So 4 votes is not enough.
George, who was the other half?
The other half of the person, the other half of the ping was. I'll tell you tomorrow. Screw you all.
Because it might be the recluse that I've heard of, and that's also worth.
If they want to announce it, then that's their prerogative, right?
Yep, it's entirely up to them.
Is it worth waiting till tomorrow for George to tell one person or tell a couple of people who his ping was, and for them to then corroborate if that's the same person who comes out as the recluse or something like that?
I mean, we are on 12.
If this person who is a recluse is willing to come out as it, otherwise it was a bit screwed. But
we can afford one night of not killing. Usually it's the first night, I think.
I have a top 4.
I'm going to nominate George.
All right, so Brody is nominating George. Brody, your accusation.
Because I think a top 4 is a fine one to kill immediately. Like, he's outed, so it won't be the world's greatest Undertaker check, but it would at least tell us something about what we're dealing with. And if the other half of this ping is the recluse, that also tells us what we know, that also tells us something. But I think George, thank you for investigating so well for the town. You need to die.
Okay, George, your defense.
I'm not against this. Well, I'm against this on principle, but I'm not against this idea at all. I think Brody's evil AF, and I want him dead. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know why. Sorry, he gave. Well, I did a 3 for 3 with George. I'm not going to say what he gave me, but none of them were the investigator, and I figure that that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have nothing to add to that.
All right, folks. I am going to start the countdown on George, and it's going to start with Lucas. Here we go.
So I'll just say my thoughts, which is that I'm very against killing the top 4, just because killing the top 4. However, the investigator is the best evil bluff, so it makes most sense to kill the investigator of any of them. Because the investigator can say these 2 people are evil.
I agree.
All right, so
George
really wants to die. That's what I was about to say. All right, so 8 votes is enough.
Hey, George.
So
Why
at
do you
this
want
point
to
in
die?
time,
Do you want to go? Do you want to go?
I'm going to start my 10 count here, just because 8 votes is quite a lot, especially on the first day.
Do I want to go?
Why do you want to die, George?
I'm on my way to the grave.
George, if you really want to die, go seek help.
That's all right. No one trying to
Brody.
save her or anything. No one trying to nominate her or anything. That's fine.
Let's just
So
nominate Brody and take him out.
So now you've met Chris.
Chris, is that an actual nomination?
No, let's not do it today. We'll wait until tomorrow, Brody.
I am gonna die.
You're welcome.
All right.
My blood is on your hands.
Everybody with that, George has been executed and dies, and the game continues. So I'm going to open the breakout rooms. If everybody can now, guys. So for the new people who are not familiar with Zoom, if a box popped up that said "Go to this breakout room" and it's not your room, click later, and then go down to the bottom of your screen and find your breakout room like you normally would have done. However, if it is your room, just go ahead and click OK.
So a couple of things that I've realized. I was told Undertaker. Possibly telling the Undertaker that I was the Washerwoman was foolish, because I can't actually confirm them when I die, because they were told that I was the Washerwoman by myself. But George claimed the Investigator, which makes me think that Chris is the Undertaker.
So Chris had to go someplace, I think, for a moment. So you have to look at that creepy picture of him, all in that still
Not that
there. Chris, where did you go?
The glorious face. We're getting flu shots apparently, and I'm supposed to go with.
What?
Oh, okay.
I wasn't planning on going with, because I was just going to get mine later, but we're going to get flu shots.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So everybody, in the night that you learned that somebody actually has died, and that person is going to be Mike W. And I'm going to open breakout rooms for day 2 here, and I'm going to give everybody 8 minutes.
I'm just going to say, guys, I think we've got a spy in the game.
Are you wanting to claim what your role was?
I was the Slayer.
All right. Michael, I'd like to have a chat with you then.
Okay, Brody, let's go to
Yeah,
you.
do you want to talk?
All right, I'll go to
Yeah,
your
because we
room.
can talk. Come
Yeah,
to
I
my
go to
room.
you.
Lucy,
Yeah.
do you want to talk to me?
Chris?
I don't know, George.
What do you mean you don't know? We
No,
only have
not
trust
yet.
issues, though.
I wouldn't advise talking to him. It doesn't end well for people.
I know.
I can't nominate you now. I'm dead. You know what I mean? You say it.
And
George, I'll
and
talk
you
to
wanna talk?
Sure, I'll come to you.
Okay.
George, I'll talk to you.
Dan, can we go to your room?
Yeah, come on.
Come to me.
Okay. Yeah.
What the heck is happening?
What is going on here?
Chris, are you available to talk even though you're like on the road or whatever?
I'm on the road, but I can still talk, because I'm not driving.
In a breakout room?
Yeah, sure, I can go to a breakout room.
Okay.
Which one we want to go to?
Let's go to my breakout room and have the weirdest thing ever.
I want to come listen to this.
Okay.
Chris,
Sorry, Lucas.
Oh no, that's a picture.
Hello? Hello?
I'm here.
It says Chris is here, but I don't hear him.
Yeah, it does show him is here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, now we can. All right, I'll shut up.
All right, so Chris, my other ping has claimed something else, so that would make you the Undertaker.
Oh, okay. I mean, if I was the Undertaker, I have got an Investigator, which helps at nothing at all. I'm not saying I am the Undertaker, but I could be.
Well, that's really stupid because I am the Washerwoman that saw you as the Undertaker. And then we executed the Investigator who, for whatever reason, said he was the Investigator, which is unhelpful.
Yeah.
So I basically, at this point, we are working together, like it or not.
I don't like it.
All right. Well, that's all I had to say. Let's go execute somebody that we know nothing about and get information.
That sounds good. Yeah, that would be nice. Let's do that. All right. Chris is here.
Lucas?
Oh, hi, Chris.
Hello.
No, I'd rather talk to Chris.
Oh, you were trying to talk to me?
Michael, do you want to talk?
You want to go talk to Lucas?
Yeah.
Brody,
Yeah,
can we talk?
I go to your room, Chris.
Okay, sounds good.
Brody?
Yeah, sure.
All right, my place.
All right, there you are. So, all I learned, like, without saying too much about what I am, I'll tell you that I found out Anne is the recluse, and that corroborates with what I've found out was George's other half. Now, I pretty firmly believe that as a recluse, I'd still like to get her out of the way because I've heard of a few roles where like her continued existence mucks with roles.
Well, killing her doesn't actually help because her ability continues to function in death.
Right. It would help the living. It would help the living. It wouldn't necessarily help the Undertaker.
The Undertaker is living.
Right. Yeah. I believe that the Undertaker is living, and if this is your roundabout way of saying that, well played. But
no, I'm just saying that a dead Undertaker. You said it helps the living. I'm just stating that okay.
Yeah, it does not it doesn't necessarily help an Undertaker other than like if she registers as an evil, like it still lines up with her being the recluse, and I fully believe she is the recluse for what it's worth.
Well, that's kind of a worthless investigator then.
Yeah. Oh, Michael also had a pretty good theory that like it could be and the recluse and Daniel being the actual poisoner, and the recluse is just throwing us off.
Yep, that is a problem. So was the poisoner what he saw?
1 second. Yeah, so
Is the poisoner what he saw?
that's what I heard
That
from
doesn't
Michael.
That doesn't line up because I'm the poisoner.
Fuck off. But yeah.
Well, I guess it could be that and the recluse is registering as the poisoner, and Dan is either a different minion or he's good. That would work.
Yeah.
And then I, as the poisoner, would be under the radar.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. But yeah, I do think Anne's good to die for now, and then we can revisit the Daniel question later.
As the poisoner, though, I am intending to poison the saint. Do you know who the saint is so I can poison them? Because I want to help the town. I'm a good poisoner.
I do not know who the saint is.
Do you believe that I'm a good poisoner?
Hey, like you're playing so off the wall that I think you're good.
That's such an odd meta.
Well, here's a fun fact. 6 months ago to the day was the first time I played this game, and our first conversation, you told me you were evil.
Oh yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. So, and you were good. You were drunk, but you were good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you were like, "Are you evil?" And I said yes, and you were like, "Well, I'm confused. I don't know where to go with this."
I'd go into my strategies from literally 6 months ago, but I need to talk to some more people.
Some less useless people. Okay, then it checks out.
We'll go. Hey, I'm not saying you're useless. I'm just saying your usefulness is just slightly in question.
Yep.
Take care.
I'm going to speak to you, Stephen, because you're the poisoner, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. There we
Lucy,
go.
can I talk to you?
Didn't you say you were evil?
Yes, I did.
Yes, he did.
I want to talk to George.
No.
10
Well,
seconds.
I'm evil too.
You want to talk?
George, can I talk to you?
It's just 10 seconds now.
My place. Hurry up. We have to make a decision. Come to me.
Go. Ah, they closed.
You missed.
I was a click away. You missed as well. What are you talking about? You missed. You missed.
Normally I give you guys time, but I mean that was I told you guys 10 seconds to make the move.
You missed. He goes.
All right. Well, I want to spend this time while people return to explain myself. I am the good aligned poisoner, and I have been poisoning the saint.
Oh, you were pitacked into the poisoner
I am
then.
poisoning the saint, and I'm going to make it so that their hindrance doesn't hurt us, so we can execute
Good job,
the saint.
Io.
Can you say who the saint is so we can then just kill them?
Wait.
If they're
I'm
poisoned.
confused. Isn't the poisoner a bad role?
Yeah, it is.
Just decided to help the village. Okay.
Just being a prat.
Okay, that's
when Steven opens his mouth, just
ignore
turn it right off.
Well, I would have.
At the moment.
I had important stuff to say in the breakout room, but in the main room, I definitely have said a lot of nonsense.
Okay,
All right, so-
nominations open.
Yes, and I'll just remind everybody that Chris is here and he can hear and talk. So
Yes, I'm here and I can talk and my face is here. If you haven't seen him, he's right there. He's got a smile.
I don't think I'll ever unsee that face.
I know, right?
Perfect. It's there just for you.
I think I'm gonna nominate Daniel.
I was going to say, I was trying to chat to you today, but kept not being in the same room. And I have things to say for tomorrow.
All right, Mia, go ahead with your accusations.
Well, first of all, there is an investigator ping on him. He hard claimed to me that he was the Slayer. Mike is now claiming to be the Slayer. That is very weird. So it more or less seems like a minion that didn't talk to the demon.
All right, Daniel, your defense.
Yeah, I'm not the Slayer. but I did say that on day one. But I'm not a good kill and would not want to die today. Yeah, I meant to catch me a day and for what we'd spoke about on the first day, but haven't been able to. So yeah, that would be my first port of call tomorrow.
Okay, folks. Any pertinent information?
Yes, I would just like to add there quickly that according to George's investigator info, I won't reveal who it is, but his other evil ping was the recluse, is someone who's believed to be the recluse.
So a thing that can happen, Michael, is that the investigator sees the recluse and a minion, and then you're inclined to think that the other ping is good when they're not.
So if the other one is claiming recluse,
Now,
then
I did understand that the ping was on the poisoner, which is weird because I'm the poisoner.
Anyway, with that, I'm going to start the countdown for Daniel, and I'm going to start with Sam. Go ahead, Lucas.
Can you please go back on the confusing play? We do have some new people in here. Thanks. Chris said he will vote on Daniel. Trey.
Yeah, I can't.
You
vote on
are,
Daniel.
Chris?
Yeah, I'll vote on Daniel.
Okay.
If he's in a ping, he is in a ping. That's what I heard. So.
Wow. You've been mod killed multiple times.
There we go.
Let's kill
All
him.
right. So the majority was 5, and he got 6. So that is enough to put Daniel on the chopping block.
I would like to nominate Anne.
All right, Brody nominates Anne. Brody, your accusation.
I thought Daniel was on the block. Didn't somebody nominate him?
I am on the block.
Oh, yeah. Mia nominated Daniel and is on the block.
Okay.
So I didn't want to say this too early because I wanted to, let people play the game on their own pace. I found out that Anne was the recluse, and now that I know that that's one half of the investigator ping, I think she is also a valid candidate to go. If we want Daniel gone now, cool. If we want him gone, if we want to execute Anne first, then Daniel, that also works.
Yeah.
I do believe Anne to be the recluse.
All right, Anne, your defense.
I have no defense. I am the recluse. So, but I'm also new, and if you kill me off early, that's fine.
I'd rather kill an evil person than a good person,
Yeah,
even
me
if it's the
too.
recluse.
Yeah, it could have easily been the recluse used on the ping for diabolical reasons.
Yeah, what I'm hearing from Brody is he wants to kill good people. First the investigator, now the recluse.
Yeah.
Will you not stop in your haste to kill
I
all the
agree
good
with
players, Brody?
George.
Yep, let's get Brody.
Any pertinent information on the nomination of Anne? All right, so I'm going to start the countdown for Anne. I'm going to start with Brody. Here we go.
I don't think we should tie this.
Currently,
That was just my
Daniel,
suggestion.
I was going to say, currently Daniel's on the block with 6 votes.
I'd rather not tie this.
Okay, so 4 votes is not enough.
Anyone else got any nominations?
All right, guys, I'm going to start my 10 counts since you guys are kind of...
I'm going to nominate Brody because that is the only other person that I've heard a nomination against. And I was trying to be quiet about my role. And my accusation against Brody is less of an accusation against him and more of a defense for myself, being that I am the saint. That's why I was trying to claim as the slayer to try and get the demon to kill me in the night. That's why I also spoke to someone like so far in this game across the last 2 days who claimed to be the monk. I avidly told them not to protect me because I didn't want to not be killed in the night. And I don't really mind who we kill, or if we tie it, I just prefer it not be me. And the only person I've heard any suspicion towards other than myself, or Anne is Brody. Or of course, I could have nominated. I probably should have gone with Stephen, who is openly the poisoner.
I've been poisoning you so that we can kill you, and you look sus.
If it's between Brody and Daniel, I'd rather go with Brody.
All right, so Brody, go ahead and do your defense.
My defense, I'm not a good kill. There is some logic behind nominating Anne instead of yourself. However, I do trust Anne's outsider claim more than this late Saint claim. I'm not a great kill. I'm cool tying this. Like I'm now a bit I am now a bit sketched out by that Saint claim as late as it was. Now that you're on the block and a full nomination.
Well, he is a new player, and he may have a different meta.
I do understand, and so I'm not trying to like throw too much shade on a new player unfairly. I'm just talking out my process. If you want, like, I don't think I'm a good kill for the sake of getting a Saint off the block. If you brought that up earlier, I think Anne would have been absolutely better kill. Thank you. It gives you something to consider. I'm not a great kill though.
I'm
Does anybody want to add any pertinent information?
I'm inclined to just write it out.
Well, we shouldn't risk killing the Saint, right? I mean, Stephen could
Yeah,
just
but it was a very late claim, Lucy.
It's very weird, very, very weird.
It's very panicky, you know.
If you're the Saint, you don't wait till you're on the block.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to get killed by the demon was my hope, so I didn't have to worry. I thought telling people was the Saint at any point in the game might kind of make them think I was the demon and want to kill me. So I was like,
there's also the double claim on Slayer, so
that was why I claimed Slayer, because I thought that'd be something the demon would want to kill. So if I go around telling people I'm the Slayer, then
I'm with you, Daniel. I'm on your side.
All right, folks, I'm going to start the countdown for Brody, and it will start with Mike. Here we go.
You don't trust Brody, Lucy?
I just don't think it's a good idea to risk killing the Saint. I don't know.
No, don't worry, he's not Saint.
Lucy.
I do agree with Lucy's logic, and
what I didn't like in Brody's defense is he said he's fine tying the vote, which I don't see why. Because we won't get more votes on someone else.
Because
are you evil?
The reason why
Brody wanted to try it
to
sounds
answer
like panic.
To answer Lucas's question, the reason why I said I'm cool tying this is because it would get Daniel off the block while also not putting me on the block, because I don't think I'm a good kill. And I can't nominate anymore if someone else is willing to fall on the sword to get this potential Saint off the block, go for it.
I mean, right now, we've only had 3 nominations. That means 7 people can still nominate if anybody would like to nominate.
Lucy, if you're that concerned about Daniel potentially being Saint, are you prepared to die?
No.
How many people don't want Daniel to die, but they're not prepared to die? So
I really don't want to die.
it's 2 people. It's 2 people who are willing.
It's just
him
because
It
Brody,
is very...
like,
Go ahead.
he wants to kill good people. You know, it's a combination of all of that.
Well, you confirm people when you kill them.
Lucy, do you remember my 3 for 3? I forget exactly which order I put them in, but one of them does inform that decision.
All right, folks, I'm going to start my 10 count.
Has anybody had a conversation with Stephen in private that makes them think he's genuinely not the poisoner and we shouldn't just kill him?
I did. I don't think he's a poisoner.
Okay.
But I think he could be.
Killing Stephen, but he's not.
Unless I got bad information day one, I was told he's literally not the poisoner, because the poisoner is either. Well, I might as well share the information now, obviously, yeah, because Brody answered it. So yeah, my king was Anne and Daniel was the poisoner.
Someone nominate, please.
All right, folks, and with
Now we're
that,
fine. Damn it.
Daniel has been executed and died, and you guys killed the Saint. Good win for the evil team.
Nice. Good job, friend.
Hey, Lucas.
I
I
know,
told
Lucy.
you.
Lucy, I
You
agreed.
guys killed the saint already.
This
Because-
doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I think
And-
it's hilarious.
7 living and nobody nominated.
Oh,
No,
no.
3 of them will never nominate someone else.
Can
when
we
the
play
change- when
another
the saint is on the
game?
Yeah.
What was
Re-
super?
Yes, I can. I'll re-rack it for you guys.
Can you open the breakout
Just
rooms while you do?
pretend this never happened.
I
This
won't
is
be able to-
why my number one meta is that the saint will always be in my. If a saint is in the script, the saint will either be a bluff roll or it will be in play because of this right here. Now, yes, Daniel. When Anne was nominated and people said that she was the recluse, she should have been like, guys, I'm the saint. We need to kill
that
Anne.
was the time to come out.
And when you
Yeah,
did
I was.
it, that sealed your fate. You weren't going to get on the
Yeah.
block at that point in time. Here, I'll share the Grim real quick so you guys can see the game, and I'll kind of go
It's
over
all
it
right,
real quick.
Daniel.
I'm
We
guessing
No.
George was the spot.
Good
Oh,
as lost
damn.
before. I mean, it was bad that we lost. We'll get them
All
next
right.
time.
Cody, come on now.
I'm
See,
gonna
I
mute
knew
Chris,
guys
Lucas
you are
was
evil.
bad.
I was totally good.
No, you are a piece of crap.
All right, I'm going to mute you guys just for a second. I'll go over the Grim real quick, and then I can re-rack. So, in my defense for this script, I just did a pure random setup. And since I didn't meet some of you guys, I didn't know who was new, who was not, how much experience, all that kind of stuff. But this was the setup. Lucas was the imp who just happened to kill Mike W. He didn't know what he was. He just picked randomly. There was a spy, but Lucas did not talk to either of his minions yesterday. Steven was the washerwoman who saw Chris or George as and the funny thing was that George and Chris were the alternates. They were supposed to be Rich and Matthew. He saw them as the Undertaker. And then I had George the investigator ping off the recluse, and I just said, I'll just put the saint in there just to cause chaos. And usually only 1 time out of 10 did this actually happen where the saint gets thrown on the block, because usually they're pretty forthcoming with their saintness once they get on.
You want to claim much quicker.
Brody was the empath. That's why he didn't want to die. He got a 1 the first night because of the ping on the recluse. But Brody, you got a 1 on the second night because you pinged off the demon. And not the recluse anymore. So if there had been another night, Brody would have gotten a 1 again. Sam was your soldier. Lucy was the monk who protected Brody. And Mia was the Ravenkeeper. Brendan was the Scarlet Woman. So there was the game for you guys. You can unmute yourself.
Well, I'm glad we had another stupid loss after I lost as the class.
Can you open the breakout rooms?
That was fun.
Turtle.
And that is a wrap. We lost. It was a hot ball of garbage, that was. Because Chris, the werewolf killer, was the spy. And I told him I was the spy of the washerwoman. He definitely knew I was the washerwoman. Oh my goodness, this game is so mean. We shouldn't have killed. Oh, things are changing. Anyway, I think that's the first time I've lost to the Saint. It doesn't feel great. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.